Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Wow, what a day today. The Nasdaq was up over 3% today, and the other major indices were up, a pretty significant amount as well, with the Nasdaq leading the way. But essentially, a lot of really big mega cap stocks like Apple and Amazon were actually crushing it today. Same thing with Facebook. And so, as a result, a lot of your accounts are probably doing super well. So my account's currently now at 231K, so I'm about 31% of the way, or I guess in the past week, I am now about 30% of the way for a $300,000 account, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I'm up about 31K in the past week, as you guys can see, which is about 15.85%. So yeah, I really put the Jets on lately. And basically, that's just as a result of what I thought was a pretty good market bottom. And so we'll take a look at that in a second. The only thing I'll say is, I'm still long stocks, even though we had a pretty crazy day today. I wonder what the sentiment is at this moment, because I know a lot of people were like, they were saying that they're going to invest once the election is over because that's when things are going to cool down a little bit. They just want to see how things settle. And so I think that's kind of a funny attitude to have. But yeah, I wonder what the sentiment is now, if it's like super bullish right now or something like that. I don't actually know. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the charts. So yeah, I mean, Nasdaq just basically went pretty much parabolic once it had broken out of this bottoming pattern. I was super excited about this. It was honestly one of the most beautiful patterns for a bottom that I've ever seen. Um, Lots of little innuendos here, but yeah, this is one of the nicest bottoms I've ever seen. And honestly, it is just borderline sexy almost. Obviously, we have a double bottom, left shoulder, right shoulder, where the right shoulder pullbacks were more shallow than the left shoulder. And then we kind of were just like butting up our heads against this overhead resistance. And then once we did break out of it, it was seriously off to the races. Like, obviously, this level was extremely important. And so, yeah, once we broke out of it, like the market didn't even look back. And so after hours, we are starting to pull back a little bit. That's okay. I mean, that's probably bound to happen. I anticipate us to maybe even have a red day tomorrow, or at least a couple red days during this week. And yeah, so the question on everybody's minds is like, it was that it is the bottom in? And so, in my opinion, the bottom is in. I think that we are closer to all-time highs than breaking the lows that we put in here on the third week of September. And so, yeah, that's a look at the Nasdaq. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit on a daily time frame because I kind of want to give an update of where I left off for where I thought we would bottom. And so, pretty much the range that I gave was anywhere between the 100-day moving average to the 200-day moving average. And so we ended up choosing the more shallow option. And once that bottom started to form, um, then I became even more convinced that we were a bottom, and so I made sure to get long stocks. And so, yeah, as a result, we are benefiting from it. If we take a look at the S&P 500, we're actually exactly where I thought we would bottom. So I was kind of right on target on the S&P 500, as well as the Dow Jones. Um, my computer's a little bit laggy, so you may have to forgive me. I really don't want to edit this later. So, yeah, the S&P 500 pretty much nailed the 100-day moving average, and then once again put in a really nice bottom. And now we are approaching all-time highs. So the question is, what happens now? So obviously we put in a really parabolic move. A lot of people are wondering, is this a short-term top? Is this just like a really, crazy counter trend rally before we, come crashing down? Obviously, we had this is the third gap up open in a row. And so, that is potential for buyer exhaustion just slightly. But my prediction right now is that we are going to see some more incoming volatility. I don't think that we're going to cruise to all-time highs, immediately. I think if we do, it might just be slightly, but I would expect another pullback promptly. So I would expect a little bit of incoming volatility at this point. But just given how strong this move was, this is just a sign of things to come, in my opinion. And so I'm very bullish on the market. I don't know about Q4, but certainly in the midterm, meaning like, anywhere from like 3 to 6 months out, I think we are going to see some pretty crazy price action. And yeah, so that's basically my stance. I'm bullish. S&P 500, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, your mama, everything. I'm bullish on everything. And I think that's kind of been my attitude sometimes, or that's my attitude more often than not. And so I don't want to sound like a broken record, but that it is what it is. Just out of everything I'm looking at, I have more reason to believe that the market's bullish than bearish. And so yeah, despite what the naysayers may be saying, I'm not really paying attention to that all that much. And so I don't even feel like I should add that much more. Oh yeah, one thing you'll notice is that my technical analysis updates are coming less and less, and that's for a reason. I generally don't want to make that many more technical analysis updates on my channel. And so I'd rather put them straight on Patreon. And so if you guys want to get my thoughts on a regular basis, then you can go ahead and check out my Patreon. I'll put it in the description down below or a pinned comment, and you guys can do that. But yeah, with that out of the way, hopefully your guys' accounts are doing awesome as well. Um, lots of potential for more gains. As you guys know, I was so excited when this dip was actually unfolding, and so it's nice to see that it's playing out exactly the way I wanted to. The last thing I want to say though is that yeah, I had a good day today. I think let's just see what I was up because okay, so I closed the day on October 11th at 2:14, and then close of today is at 2:31. So that's about 16 17k. So 16 17k in a day, right? But the thing is, like, the setup that we had was one of the most perfect setups like I've ever seen before. And so I don't feel like that often. I don't feel like, oh my gosh, this is one of the craziest setups ever often, right? And so based on my conviction, I did not put on the appropriate amount of risk, meaning that when I'm looking at something like this, I should be way more confident, and my position should reflect that. I should have taken on more risk at this point, especially at this point in time. And this is the second time this has happened now. The previous time this has happened where I was like, oh my gosh, this is one of the most amazing setups I've ever seen before. That was actually October 2019. I remember the day because I was talking about it with my brother, I think, and I was like, dude, this is one of the most amazing setups I've seen. Like the market's about to just take off like a mother. And sure enough, that's what we did. And basically, what I was looking at was this, multi month consolidation range that the market was just, hit our head up against it, hit our head up against it, hit our head up against it, using the 200-day moving average as support every single time. And then the range got tighter and tighter. And sometime around here, actually, I was playing basketball with my brother, and I was like, dude, I feel like I'm just gonna go all in on some pretty risky bets that were long, but I ended up not doing it, and then the market just ended up rallying. Obviously, my account still did well, but it's just like these moments don't come often, right? And so I really question, am I taking the appropriate amount of risk based on my conviction, right? Because I don't always feel like that. Like I said, those moments may become like once every so often if you're lucky, right? So what I've been feeling like lately is that I'm questioning whether I'm getting paid what I deserve, so to speak, right? Because being able to feel like the market's going to go in a certain direction with any kind of conviction, that's a very valuable skill. That's a skill that's in demand. I'm not saying like I'm the greatest trader. I'm just saying like there's moments where it seems like, there's a pretty high likelihood the market's going to do something and I should be getting paid accordingly, and I'm not. And that's based on me, right? Because I don't I'm still kind of learning in terms of how to take the most advantage out of market movements. And so I'm still learning on my journey. I don't want to do anything too early that I'm not fully comfortable with, but yeah, I think a lot of good things in life, or I guess I should say like a lot of leveling up in life happens when we start to question if we're getting paid what we deserve. And this goes beyond just like questioning your self-worth or something like that. This is basically saying like, when you start to question if you're getting paid what you deserve, that means that you're aware of what you should be worth, and you feel like you're not getting paid that much. And so that kind of thinking usually leads to pushing yourself, finding something new, finding a way to get paid what you deserve. And really this spans across everything in life, jobs, right? Whether it's like if you're working for a place that actually rewards employees based on their their hard work and their merits, then yeah, you're at a right spot, right? You could just ask for a raise. But if you're in a place that's a little bit more corporate and doesn't pay that well, and is pretty strict on the raises, then it might be time to consider leaving. And then even outside of just finance, this kind of idea happens in relationships too, right? We're talking like parents or children. You feel like you should be getting more respect than you actually are, or even from your friends, and you feel like you're not. Then you kind of have to either make your presence felt, um, or if the situation persists and you're not happy at all, then might be time to think about looking elsewhere for your social circle or something like that. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of how I've been feeling lately, with the market, and so I will pay attention to this. I will monitor this closely. Long story short, I think I should be getting paid more, and so I'm gonna look into that. When I felt like this, a year and a half ago, I felt like the same exact way. I was like, I'm not getting paid nearly enough for what I know, and today I'm much better than I was a year and a half ago. Maybe, I don't know. I might be about the same, but that first time when I questioned myself, it ended up being a lot for the better, because I ended up getting paid so much more, and my returns got better as a result. And so we'll see if there's a big jump that comes in 2021 once I figure some stuff out. But that's where my head's been at lately. So anyway, if you guys stuck around for this, then that's crazy. Cool. But I was gonna say, I'm trying to think of a key, like a word that you could type. Let's just say mama. If you made it this way, type mama in some way. Don't make it obvious. Just type mama in some way. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.